Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the My Hero Academia stream of our review slash discussion of chapter 307. And you're going to see a couple of the cast members missing, but you will find out that we're still going to have a great show, and you guys will bring us the questions. You guys will give us your thoughts and your comments. What you guys thought about this chapter, about our muscular man, aka RayApollo, and our boy Deku, his son, me, myself, King of Games. Wait, sorry, that's me, LegendDVash. But let's get straight to it. Let's have a good time, and let's enjoy ourselves. Welcome, Anime Lily fans. How you guys doing? LegendDVash as always, and right here with my co-host for today and only panelist from today is Muscular Man RayApollo. How you doing, man?
No, you called me both, so I guess I'm both of them now. That makes sense. Yep, that's right. I'm both Muscular Man and my son Deku. Thank you very much. Yep. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Yes, for those that see, we don't have James and Sam here today. James and Sam are out for today, and if you guys want to hear their thoughts, definitely join the Discord server, and you can ping them and ask them what you guys thought about them, or at them on Twitter, and you can find out their thoughts for you guys. You know, if you want to know their thoughts.
Add them on Twitter. Do it.
They're here on chat as well, so if you want to ask them questions, they'll be on chat. If they don't answer, because they're busy. But Ray, what did you think about this chapter?
This chapter was good at showing me a few things. Overall, I'll say this chapter was like, I feel like Horikoshi's finally slowing down a little bit. I'm like, finally, take your time, man. And so I'm like, all right, this was good because this, like, compared to what he's been doing, this is a little light. And I was actually like, I'm okay with this. This is okay. It showed that there's looks like a larger number of people who are like, hey, F y'all heroes, y'all can't protect us. So why we just go do it ourselves? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Y'all can down here. It's cool. I'm like, because imagine a group like this trying to fight Muscular. Ain't like trying being the key word. Ain't gonna happen. So I'm like, that's good. But I love that it showed that these are 30 years that are out here doing actual hero work. You know what I'm saying? Like, they said that on purpose, like, because like it's all hands on deck, like we talked about before. Everybody's got to be out here doing the work if they can, and they were just trying to get them to come, like they were trying to convince them to come to the safety of the school, which is sad to me.
And of course, it's a gym that's the one that's doing the defending. Like, of course, it's a gym that's doing the defending from themselves, because, you know, it's the guys that, you know, feel like they're tough enough to, like, you know, fuck them heroes, you know, fuck them kids and everything. And they say, like, we got this, we could protect ourselves because we don't like y'all heroes no more. And I love how,
I mean, yeah, it was ironic that they were held up at a gym. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, my guy.
But I love how Grand Yo was trying to sweet talk, like, hey, you know, trying to use a hero type of charming, like, hey, allows to protect and everything. And I love how he said, like, oh yeah, look what's that come to trusting the smooth love like that. We ain't seeing eye to eye, so go home, kid. Like, he has seen these heroes talk to talk about what they can't back up and walk to walk. So that's what he didn't really trust.
Not even that. It's just it's like, hey, yo, you're a kid. We've seen that, like, even the pro heroes, you know, they chickened out. So why would we trust these kids when the pro heroes couldn't even do what they were supposed to do, for the most part? And so I get it. It's just like, well, if y'all think y'all can protect your hometown, I mean, I would be like, as much as, you know, here all heroes ain't perfect. I would be like, all right, deuces, good luck, you know. And then so he fails twice immediately. He tries to get them to go with him, and they say no. And then Muscular shows up and give him an L.
Wait, hold up. Before we say that, I got laughed. Turtleneck gave him no time. She threw the shade. She said, "Suck City, you suck, you fail, you bad."
Oh, she's hilarious. She's hilarious. She was like, "Hey, yo, sucks to suck, bro." And I'm like, "You didn't even try."
But she didn't try it.
He did say he was gonna do it himself.
Correct. He said, "No, I got this. I'm smooth with this," and that's what she kept going at. Like, you suck. It sucked to suck. So I love that how she kept going at it.
I mean, but now I feel bad for it. Now I feel bad because I'm like, you know, you said you did all this talk and then you just gonna get washed like that. All right, bet.
But he really did get washed, though. He really did.
Oh, immediately. I'm like, not even kidding. Like, it was an immediate wash. He was like, yeah, we about to fight this villain. He straight up says, I'll demolish him.
He really did. I was about to say that. He literally said, I got him. Don't worry. I will break him. He said, nah.
Yeah, nope. That ain't
he literally reminded me. He literally reminded me of how Broly grabbed Goku in the movie and just trashed him through the whole type of iceberg, because that's what he did him in the whole building. He literally went, bah! Literally just through the whole building.
Mean, he did. And then I love that the old dudes are like, yeah, let's save that kid. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, so now y'all like, oh yeah, we can do something. Okay, guys, all right, let's relax here. But no, I want to make one comment though. So last chapter, we clearly saw that Deku saw this confrontation in the distance. In the distance. Think about how fast he got there. This is clearly the confrontation he saw in the distance. Like straight up.
Hold up, I'm going back to chapter 306 while you was talking right now.
That's a hell of a distance for him to cover almost instantly.
Oh, a giant villain, and he's looking at that. Oh shit, you're right.
That boy
So
fast.
So this was going on, and the explosion of our boy Yo getting wrecked through the whole building and everything. Then Deku, damn, he probably used all my power with flow at the same time to speed over there.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's just like, and so danger sense, which is what he talks about at the end, I'm sure is what, alerted them to being in danger. So Karen, who's in chat, brought up a question. It's like, so how does danger sense actually work? And I'm like, that's a really good point. How does it work? Is it when people are in danger that he knows, or just like when people are in danger in general? So yeah, exactly. Pedro, the range for danger sense is wild.
So
if that's
we said this months ago when we found, I think in January or in December when we first found out about danger sense, and we said that it's like spider sense, but not exactly, because spider sense is for Peter himself only, and that's when he sends the danger to himself around probably like the 6 feet or like at least 1 mile radius.
This was like
is way different.
This is an OP version of spider sense. Yes. But we've seen it. We've seen that it works in the same capacity as spider sense though, in like his personal space. We saw it from the user himself.
But what I'm also curious to know is that no wonder my gift from the 4th wouldn't shut up. So do you think that the danger sense was just making a noise like it does like Spidey sense, or do you think it was talking more like that direction south? There's a big giant enemy.
See, that's what I want to see. Like I think it's just probably just a noise.
And plus, I'm so curious to know how would it be in the anime. Like, how would it sound? Like, would it be some type of voice actor? Like in the anime,
I'm sure it's gonna be something similar to that. Yeah,
like that'd be interesting. Like, is there some type of sound effect too for it? Like, that'd be interesting. Like, you know how with Spidey saying it has a little ding. So I wonder with Deku would it have a sound effect, or would it have like a voice actor in the back?
I'm assuming it's some noise. So it's probably like a bell ringing, the entire time, because he said he wouldn't shut up. And I'm like, and somebody else pointed out on Twitter when I was talking to him that this is unlike Deku. That tone of voice is very unlike Deku. And I feel like this is a tired Deku who has been putting in the work ever since he woke up. And not only that, he's got all these quirks that he's trying to deal with at the same time. Our boy just doesn't have the time to be himself right now,
This reminds me of Endeavor personality, because you know how Deku did train under Endeavor for a short time for his internship. So I feel like this is a bit of Endeavor, training, being serious on the job. But also, Deku's not showing his face, just like, oh my, showed his face in his smile. He's not showing the smile type of personality that he was inspired.
Remember, this outfit basically was to emulate the smile. So the mask with the hood is supposed to be the smile, remember?
Yeah, but that whole suit is.
But it looks a lot more ominous now, doesn't it?
Yeah. And and plus, Karen said that, like, even that he cannot turn it off, and that's crazy. But also that
that's the wild part.
That they said that it's like a pain in his head. Do you think that that's what it said? Like the voice wouldn't shut up because it's like more of like a pain instead of a noise.
I'm curious, but I feel like it was probably kind of a pain because it was loud, and he didn't understand how it worked then. So I guess it might be different when he understands how they work. Is what I'm assuming how all these quirks are going to be. It's like they're going to all work different once he understands how they actually work.
Imagine,
and plus, remember, and the thing about the quirks that are within this quirk, they all have evolved over time. They've gotten stronger over time, so they're different as well.
Yeah.
So we don't really know how they're going to work just based off what we've seen. They're all different now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay. So I mean, I want to point out one thing, and this was our topic of conversation on Twitter. I feel like Deku ain't gonna waste no time with Muscular.
Oh, so we're gonna jump into that now. Okay.
He basically already stole Grand from him and rescued him immediately. Now he's got to save these other dudes that are going to try and get involved in this fight, because that's basically what they're about to try and get involved. and this ain't gonna be good for them. And so Deku's gonna have to like get them to safety and then deal with Muscular, or do that at the same time. I'm like, all right.
So for those that don't follow me or Ray on Twitter, you guys should, you know, at RayApollo and at LegendDVash, because me and Ray was having a whole thread conversation with Karen, and it was like a 2-on-1 against Ray, because Ray, which I 100% agree with what Ray is saying, that he is gonna get one-shotted, but not one shot, just one punch, but more as that he will have to do the same thing he did with Overhaul, that cause less public damage what this city already has gotten. Because if you guys have seen those panels showing the city in the background, he will have to throw him in the city. I mean, throw him above in the city to cause less damage, and also because the city itself, or what the gym member said, that our town's already torn apart no more.
When Deku punched him when he was a wee lad. All he has to do is hit him hard enough to break through those muscle fibers. He doesn't.
That one punch he did.
Yes, he doesn't.
That one punch he did.
That's gonna destroy buildings around him. All
True.
he gotta do is break the muscle fibers.
That's true, because then that one page.
Remember, and he even boasts about it. I've got to bulk up my armor. I've got, what do you say, 12,000 layers of muscle fiber as armor. Nobody can touch my body.
Very true, because
easily get through that.
He did say that, and when he did that one smash shit with his kick,
I think y'all giving Muscular too much credit, honestly.
No, I respect that and I understand, but he got thrown down to the other building and everything. That shows how much he put that kick or punch. But I would like to see it as a shonen series, and also as, you know, we love Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball narrative for that. I just want to see at least a combo, just not touch up a Neji like a 64 hit combo, but like a 2-hit, 3-hit combo, just black with flow, and then boom, punch.
You gotta show that Deku is different, bro.
That's like, what it is.
He built different, literally, and he don't need to do no combo for Muscular. Muscular ain't worth he ain't worth the flex. Is all I'm saying. Like, basically, him coming in, saving Grand instantly is the flex to me.
That is the flex.
Like,
they grabbing everything
instantly.
And speaking about that flex, I do want to say that's homage. What I felt like when Batman hold Jason Todd. That was a beautiful homage to that as well.
I mean, the art's probably similar. Yeah.
The art is very familiar, very beautiful.
So somebody asked a question in chat immediately. They said, so how do you guys think Deku is going to deal with the civilians? I hope that they understand reverse psychology on them. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to see Deku save them easily and be like, oh shit, that's a hero. Okay, we'll go. If there are people like him out here, we'll go.
So that's what me and Sam brought up at the end of reaction, since Sam was not going to be in the review. I asked him his quick thoughts about that, because those gym members, those gym people at the shelter of their own, they did not listen to Yo or to Turtleneck, but they will listen to Deku, because they will actually see a real hero.
And then he'll be like, "Hey, he basically gonna hand Grant to him, take him to the school." And they'll be like, "Yes, sir. Okay."
Like, okay, we get you, hero. We'll follow.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I feel like with Deku, he now has more control over his strength in general. Somebody also in chat, I'm sorry if I didn't see your name. Remember we talked about how the items on his arms are more like support items, is what we think they are, like from the movie, we thought. And so now he has much more control over his strength. So I feel like he can do a lot more damage with a lot less more force outwardly, if that makes sense.
Correct, because people need to remember that when Deku first got the quirk, he All Might said that your muscles will break and your bones will break because you have no control. You're thinking it as an egg inside some type of microwave. That's what guarantee you're gonna give him the lesson. And that it's been almost 12 months to 16 months of where we are now. Man, so
this boy's grown so much.
So to know that he's from 14, he started the series, to now 16, and to know that where we are now with this Deku, his control went from 20% in the beginning of the series, that, you know, slowly, to now probably, who knows, probably 40-50%, because last time during
it's probably close to 80.
You think it's 80? So when we end the war arc, he said that the training with Bakugo, he said he's at 40% or like 45 around it. I believe he's at 60 to 70. That's what I think he's at.
So I think with the support of the other like members of the quirk, I feel like he gets a little bit more control. Like straight up,
I still wonder
support, and then with these support items, I think he's leveled up considerably.
All right, so Chad, so tell us, do you think he's close to 80 or do you think he's close to 60, 70 where I'm saying? So
what I
Chad, let us
love,
know
what
down
I love
below.
about this, Muscular basically foreshadows what's about to happen to his dumb ass. He goes, "No piddly
Where?
power is gonna reach through to my actual body."
Where he said that?
Bro, he says that on page 13. He literally says, "No piddly
Oh, yeah,
power
see
can
it.
reach to my actual body." And Deku's meant to be like, "You want to bet?"
He like,
so I can see it now. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, I remember that face." He's like, "Yeah, that punch you did last time won't have any effect on me this time." But Deku's gonna be like, "Okay, how about a kick and kick the shit out of him?"
I also hope now that he has become his own version of his hero, like his own version of Deku, not taking, like, he's still taking inspiration from my Gran Torino and his other mentor Endeavor. Now I hope that he name his own moves instead of calling the same moves as all my, like, Detroit Smash, Texas Smash, and everything. And United States of Smash, like those other ones that he has named before. I hope he becomes his own.
Yeah.
No, like I hope he brings up his own name, like probably Deku Smash or something that he will bring up his own name.
That's worse. Never mind. Stick to the state names, bro. That's way worse.
Or maybe use
now with villain. So mercenary. That's a good. Like I feel like that the question of that is because he says it. It's nice out here in the free world. He ain't gonna run around with some bums. This dude is crazy and wants to do whatever he wants. So that's why
he has always been his own person. He has always been a kind of like a freelancer.
He also even remember when they sent him out to find Deku, he planned on killing Deku. He didn't plan on taking him back.
Yeah,
he tried to kill him. So he wasn't listening then. But so what I'm thinking is, so the jailbreakers, as we call them.
I love that name, by the way. Beautiful name for the people that came out of the jail. So that's a beautiful term for it. So
it sounds like a bunch of them just kind of like are going in their own. They're all over the place. They're doing their own thing. They're being villains. You know what I'm saying? Why has nobody dealt with Muscular specifically? Because they can't.
Yep.
We knew that Muscular was a pretty high tier villain when we first got introduced to him. There are certain villains that most of those folks got put, like, they were put in jail by very specific heroes that are no longer around.
That and Speed also. Who did Orphan bring with him, if anyone? He probably has his own crew. He did not bring Muscular Man. That, but also I don't think he brought certain people because he don't think he could control them. All for One is the type of person who likes to control, and if he can control Muscular Man and other people, he doesn't want.
If he doesn't have I feel like he does. If he doesn't have a use for you, he doesn't want you. And I feel like he doesn't have a use for him with him. He's like, go out and be whatever you want to be.
Yeah,
as long as
cause havoc, rage,
and
plus damage.
Yeah. As long as you don't mess up what I'm trying to do, I don't care what you do. I don't need you right now. I broke you out of jail to do what you're gonna do, which is go cause havoc. is what I'm guessing. Is that?
And he's doing that exactly. And I wonder who was he just beating up before too? Because he said in the comms with Yo and plus the turtleneck, they said that you two gotta run. Here's nearby. So like, so I wonder who was he fighting before? Because I don't know who's Itajiro. I don't remember that name exactly. Who is? I could do a quick type of Google search.
Oh yeah,
but in the meantime,
characters in My Hero.
Yeah, so like who is that? Because I don't remember. Is that from the cast member or is that teacher? So to know that they just got flung by. So to know who is that?
It's true. So I want to know. I guess I kind of want to see the shadowed image of all the jailbreakers about who we will have to deal with, because we know Moonfish is out there somewhere, right? Or did he die? I don't remember. But like, there's plenty of them out there.
Moonfish is still a creepy person.
I hate Moonfish, like legitimately. I can't stand Moonfish.
But
I just want to see what like smaller like villain groups reformed that were in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure there were a bunch of them that were groups that are out there now doing their thing again.
I just want to see Stain already. Honestly, that's what I want to see. Like right after Muscular Man, is the person
I want to see what he's doing. Is he out there fighting villains? Like I would assume that's what he would go out and do. All the heroes, basically, the bad ones have quit. You know what I'm saying?
Like what's his next plan? Like, what's his next plan that he plans to do with? Like, he went to a certain house. Did he went to pick up his stuff? Did he went to pick up weapons? Like, what did he do? So I'm curious to know, like, and is he gonna meet up? Like, we said it last week on the theory and everything. Like, he probably went to pick up some equipment and everything. But my theory was that he might work with Deku, or he might work with Spinner, or maybe what's the guy with Gento as well? Like, those type of thoughts is like, it maybe could come to fruition within the next couple of chapters of 308.
I'm just trying to figure out,
forward.
like, in my head, like, where does Deku meet up with Stain and why? Is Stain going to, like, legitimately protect All Might? Like, is that where he's headed? Like, is he going to protect his symbol, or is he out watching Deku's back because he knows that Deku's like his new symbol?
I just want that. That would be so beautiful.
I'm really curious to see how like Horikoshi writes Stain is, because Stain was too well done and has had too much impact on this universe as is to not have a prominent role in this going forward. Like, straight up.
Emperor's Day, I would not like to see what power Moonfish will get, because that'd be creepy as well. As you say, he's already weird enough.
A stronger Moonfish? Ugh.
No, that's creepy.
I hate Moonfish.
Like, if
I want Bakugo to destroy Moonfish.
Like, the only thing I could imagine, like, what other weirder quirk evolution he could have or something. Like, he already has some weird spikes coming in his mouth. The next thing that'll be weird is spikes coming up his nails. That's the next thing I could imagine. Like, that's just weird.
His hands and his feet.
Yeah, that's just creepy. Like, mouth and then nails is like, are you some type of scissor hand now? It's like, nah. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Like,
I don't like it at all.
I'm like, pass.
I mean, the only thing is, like, this chapter, I don't want to hear no more Declander ever again. None. If I see it on the timeline, that's cap. Don't you dare slander my son ever again. Because guess what? Right now, Deku could thrash your favorite MC. I don't care. I mean, outside of maybe Luffy, but still. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good question with Luffy and everything. Yeah.
Relax.
But that is something for Red Rider. Red Rider would be a good comeback for Moonfish if he does. So
that would be a great fight.
Yeah, that'd be a great fight between them two and everything.
Moonfish Scissorhand, yeah, that would be real bad. I'd hate that.
I did say that just perfectly.
I'd hate that.
I can't believe how petty Horikoshi is that Shindo beat Miracle and in his popular report that he would do this to him.
No, that's my boy. I love this flavor of petty. Let me tell you, this is my favorite song, Andrew. He's like, oh, y'all want Shindo to beat Mirko? All right, Shindo about to almost die. I don't blame him. Good on you, Horikoshi.
I just love how Shindo just look like the damsel in distress right now. It's just being held by Deku like this, like, yo, I got you, my guy. I got you, my damsel in distress, because he was. It's like, but so sad that it looks like this. Like, it's cool, my guy. You good though? So like, damn, I feel so bad for him. So like, very sad for him.
I mean, he deserved it. He was too cocky. Now maybe he'll take this more seriously the next time he's out there. Who knows?
And instead of talk to talk, don't walk to walk. Because my dude, they say, I got him. I'll beat him up. And then you're the one that's getting beat up and everything. So like, why talk all this shit when you can't back it up, my guy? Like, why talk? Like, that's so disappointing.
I mean, but so I feel like that's to me, that was
a good lesson for him.
Letting the world beat this, like, that remember that current heroes like ego presence that we didn't like and what should disappear from society? That was literally him beating that out of him.
That was his wake up call for him to understand that you cannot walk to walk if you can't back it up, because you got
to be ready, bro. And he went in too cocky. He was like, oh well, I'm a hero. I can knock this. I can beat this dude. He completely poorly assessed that situation and paid for it dearly. Not only did he almost die, he could have got all those other people killed. Straight up.
Our boy Champ says, "Oh, you got like Shindo? Well, I know who to body next."
Right?
He literally said that
on that poll, because they finna get bodied too. I'm gonna start marking X's on that poll. One
guy. Like right here, the notebook. It's like right here, the notebook. Like, oh, he got Merc. Who's next? He got Merc. Oh, damn, he about to get Merc too. Shit, he got Merc. So like, it's like the whole paper right next.
What up, Vin? Welcome on in. Deku not for none of the bullshit right now. He's never talked like this before. No wonder the gift for the fourth. Exactly. We were talking about that earlier, and it's because our boy is tired, man. Like, I think he's been working nonstop since he got out the bed.
Yep.
And I feel like, I guess that's how you would be right now. You can't keep that cheery demeanor all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm really happy that this is the side of Deku we're going to get to see. You can't be all, like, haha, I'm here to save you all the time when shit's this bad. You know, Deku isn't All Might, and that's what we're seeing. And I really, really, really appreciate that. Like, for real. Deku is Deku. And he's got to be who he is to make this happen. And I'm like, yep, this is what I want. I want it. Especially if he did have a ringing noise or voice in his head constantly. Yeah, I'd be a little annoyed too. Like I absolutely would be annoyed with that.
Second question: how strong is Bakugo right now against Deku? If Deku knows how to control his quirks right now currently as much as we assume that he does, he should beat a Bakugo.
I think he's
in his round 3
at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I feel like Deku's definitely surpassed Bakugo.
Yeah, because from a lot of theories I've been seeing this past week with people online and the Discord and YouTube videos and everything, a lot of people think that there will be a rescue squad that people assume that would be Bakugo, Ochako, and maybe Shoto. If not Shoto, is our boy Ida. Those three would be trying to get back Deku to come back to school or try to check up on him. And there will be a round 3 fight.
Like I feel like they know that he can't go back to school. Deku
either to go back to
school
or to check up on him as a person. But
yeah,
my hope from that theory is that Bakugo will either try to fight him just to get Deku back into his senses and have a round 3 fight where Deku just whips his ass and just be like, alright, cool, you got this, but joins him in the fight. That's the interesting theory I saw throughout this past week. How do you feel about that, Ray? Because I like the theory. I don't think what happened, but it's a cool theory to come
I legitimately don't think that they're like, oh yeah, Deku, you've got to come back to school. No, why would he go back when he just puts a bigger target on all the people who are now safe at the school?
Yeah,
Deku knows that they're out for him, and that's why he left in the first place. Like, there's no reason for him to go back. And I feel like it would be very silly of them to be like, oh, Deku, come back to school where it's safe. Nah, bro.
They're coming for me. I can't come back there.
And not only that, Deku's one of the most powerful people in this entire situation currently. He knows that he has to do this work, and that's why he's doing it. Because he's the only one who can, you know?
Oh, for sure.
It's not only that, but he does need support. And we keep talking about that. That's been a recurring theme. He needs help. Yes, he can do a lot, but he can't do it all. He needs some help. My boy needs some milk. And it's oh, no, I can't say that. That's nasty. But anyway, he needs his friends. His friends need to be out there with him. I'm hoping that they are absolutely like, all right, we're going to help you. Because they know what to do. Like, that's what I want to see. I really want to see that.
But then it makes me wonder, because remember Horror, those random sketches he does, and he did a sketch with Ochako being saved from Deku falling from the sky a couple months back, remember? And that was going to be some type of museum in Japan, right? So a lot of people question like, was this a foreshadow that Deku will have to save Ochako in the future? And like that's how she will try to tell him like, hey man, I care for you, I love you, and all that, like, because with that expression on her face, being happy that she's being saved by Deku and everything. How do you think about that?
I never said that. I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that. But no, Koichi is right there. And I do hope that Koichi does show up at least in some way, shape, or form. I really do. I hope we get to see the vigilantes, like straight up, because this would be like legitimately their time written all, like they're written all over this. Like this is their time.
Yeah.
I want to see the vigilantes so bad.
And this will make the story intertwine as canon, because in the comments of this past fucking week got me tight on Twitter, because a lot of people say, oh, the My Hero movie is not canon, and like some people saying that the My Hero 2, My Hero 1 movie are not canon. But I'm like, just because it's not fully canon to the main storyline, it's still canon with some plot points. And then for Vigilantes, people say it's not canon because it's not part of the censor, because it's not prequel. I'm like, motherfuckers, are y'all stupid? Like, are y'all really dumb? Like, are y'all idiots? So that's what, like, I hope this Vigilantes come through
to the current story in that. And so, can I put one thing to bed real quick? And this is
go ahead.
To like, put anybody down or anybody's theories or anything. It's just the term that you guys are using when it comes to these folks. Deku is not a vigilante. Deku is a hero who, by practice, has earned his hero's license. So anybody who has a hero's license is technically doing the work that they can do legally. Anybody who's operating as a hero without a license is a vigilante. So anybody working with Deku who has their license is just doing hero work.
Correct. Yes. Our boy Deku got a provisional license of hero.
They all have provisional licenses.
But
that doesn't make them vigilantes.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people a lot of people believe that just because he left school, he lost his license. No,
Exactly.
they did not
Nope.
revoke it. There was no confirmation. Do not use any headcanon that we don't know or any confirmation of. Just because he left the school, we have no clue or no confirmation that he lost
How's it
his
work with the provisional license?
license.
Though? I feel like at this point it becomes a okay. You have a provisional license. You have enough training. Go do the work.
Correct.
This is an emergency situation, so the rules change. It's like they went from regular rules to wartime rules. Does that make sense? Because rules change in war as well.
And plus, at the same time, it's like them telling Deku to not go do his job when people is right now that he's saving. It's like they can't tell him anything. Like right now, he's doing a job that nobody else could do. So
think about a learner's permit for driving and a driver's license.
I was thinking that too.
This is Deku's technically on his learner's permit. But in an emergency, you would have to drive on a learner's permit, and I'm pretty sure you'd be fine. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it's like.
Just don't crash the car. So that's what Deku is doing.
Just don't crash the car, because then the people who like signed your permit are liable. Which is what it'd be like in this situation. Is my guess. Like I said, I'm not claiming to know exactly, but that's just what based off what we've read and what we've seen. That's how I feel like this works right now.
Because we have seen this, and we're not using headcanon that people think that he's a vigilante now. We're using the knowledge that we have and have no confirmation of it.
And also
we're using the knowledge that we know.
Book where they clearly define the line for us and they tell you how it works.
Correct, that too. And I saw a comment in the line as well before that I totally did not know that our boy Shindo had a knife, because
that's the first thing I noticed. He pulled out a blade.
But then throughout the fight, like, when did he use he never used the blade, unless
Muscular didn't let him get the chance.
Because like he tried.
Said, "Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance," and he did.
He said, "Bam, smack." You think you're gonna about to come at me, boy?
Well, so what I'm assuming he had the blade for is kind of like a vibro blade situation. Is how he was gonna use it.
I see that. I see what you mean.
He didn't get the chance. But Pedro, I'm kind of with you. I feel like Deku basically knocks out Muscular, tells them to take Shindo to this, like tells those people and the other in Turtleneck or whatever her name is to take Shindo back to the school, and then he just flies off.
That's my theory. So if Deku's right now, like Batman, like Spider-Man right now, playing down homage with how Hori loves American comics, right? So after what Pedro and what you just said, right after he beats a Muscular Man, one shot or not, or 3-hit combo, like we're saying, after he does this and tells the people to go get shelter, I think somebody else, or like once he goes to a different house or to a different building on top rooftop, I think he's gonna either meet Stain or somebody else on a rooftop, like somebody, because you know how Batman and Spider-Man, like right after they're done doing something to save or beat a villain, somebody else stops him and like he has a conversation. I think like Stain, Boku, or he's gonna about to meet somebody. So that's what my theory is.
Yeah, and I understand. I see that. So one thing I'm actually hoping for with this is, you know how every once in a while those, like, the MC will get that power up that even the villains know not to F with. This is what I'm hoping. Like, Deku gives him that look, and he's like, "Oh, okay." So he gets real excited, and then it's too late.
Ooh, okay.
and Deku's basically already like bopped him.
I see what you're saying.
Because so Muscular wants to fight. He always wants to fight, and so he's gonna take it real seriously right away.
So I see what you're saying. So instead of beating him with like the punches, you beat him with a stare. It's like what Luffy and other MCs has done.
Because but I mean, he's still gonna have to put him down though. So,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
but it's where Muscular Man, instead of using his rage and anger, he gets like, "Oh shit, you're too much for me. Like I cannot handle you."
I don't even think that. I don't think it's he's not gonna be like, "You're too much." It's like, I'm not the same person as last time. He's gonna like instantly take it seriously, kind of like buff all the way up, and then get wrecked straight up. Because that's what I want to see it happen. I want to see Muscular at his full power get absolutely demolished by Deku. That's what I want to see. I wanted to seem almost effortless for Deku. That's what I mean by a one shot. I wanted to be like Deku didn't even break a sweat to knock this dude on his ass. That's what I mean by a one shot.
Yep, and Champ just came up with what we said and confirmed it. He just looked it up and said that the students who have the professional license could use their emergency work during the emergency type of situations. Reason why all those class 1A and class 1B was at the war arc, because they were there in a situation of emergency. So exactly for that. Thank you, champ, for searching that for us.
Thank you for clarifying that and saying that I was right. Appreciate it.
That we were right.
Wow, who said we? I'm kidding. Let's see.
Like I was right about Muscular Man for the past couple of months.
I'm telling you, the one thing to be right about, and I'm sorry, it's the wackest one. This fight gonna be short as hell. Do you think Muscular makes it out of this for the future, or is he back to Deku? I hope not. It's a waste. Like I'm telling you, at this point,
like yes,
Deku
correct.
outclasses a lot of these villains. I'm sure there's some higher levels that we haven't met yet that he's going to run into that might give him a little bit of a trouble. But the ones that he's already met, I don't think that they give him any trouble at all. And I think that's what this confrontation is going to show us.
As much as I could say and joke around saying that I was right about Muscular Man this time around, he will not be coming back with Whip in the next future, because after he gets beat up and washed by Deku, what use would he have for him as a character? He showed the progression of Deku from coming from round 1 using 1,000,000% of the power that he said to now.
He's gonna be like, "What did you say last time? 1,000,000%. Well, what can you use now?" Deku's gonna be like, 2. They're just mollywhopping.
I hope so. So now with Muscular Man, he will be useless after this. There will be no reason here to be in jail. There will be no reason for us to have him. If he comes back in the future, then he'll probably be for the next type of generation to show that the next generation quirks who are stronger. Who knows? But as a reason for Deku or Class 1A, Class 1B, or the other students of this generation, they're kind of useless to have him come back. So that's how I see it. Right, Ray?
Yeah, I can see that. Like I said, unless Muscular like literally just dips, he's like, "All right, bye." He tries to run from Deku. Who knows? I doubt that happens because that's not that character at all. But yeah, I really curious to see what system they have in place for
Mollywop.
That's what it is. It's a Mollywop. The 2-hit combo, the 2-piece of a biscuit. He about to
3-hit combo, like I said.
No, you don't need 3 hits. No. 2-piece and a biscuit. That's all you get. That's all he gets, my boy. But no, I'm like, how do they contain villains that have been defeated now? Is my question. Like, what do they do with them? Who do they contact? Like, all right, knock another one out. Bye. Like, do they just leave him on the street?
There's 6 jails or 7 jails was it that was broken.
That's what I want to know now. So like,
where can they go now? Actually,
yeah, exactly. What happens when you defeat a villain now?
Where do they go?
Because we know that Deku ain't about to send this man to hell.
Yeah, and we don't think Deku's about to start killing people, because like that's gonna turn this series to a whole serious shit now. It's like, whoa.
No. 2-piece of biscuit, no drink. That's right. You gonna choke on this biscuit. Popeyes. Like one who stops the people from breaking villains out now too? Exactly.
Damn, that's a good question. We need to figure out how's that gonna be like.
The hospital, probably. But forever. I'm gonna put you in a hospital for the rest of your life. Is what I think Deku's about to do. The man who breaks.
I'm trying to figure that out. Like, unless they have some like,
unless they set up like a new like emergency makeshift prison containment area
in some buildings or something like that. Like
they come join Midnight and Crust.
No, damn Diego, did you really have to do that?
Unless somebody comes and does it for him. And he's like, "Hey, WTF? That's not what heroes do." And then he has to have this conversation with another hero, and they're like, "But we got to do something now. There's nowhere to hold them." And I don't know. This opens up a whole interesting possibility for a lot of people. Yeah, thanks, Ray. I'm hungry. You're welcome. Just don't get the biscuit without a drink. You'll be fine.
No, like I did just have Popeyes for the first time in a couple, like probably a year or years.
I had Popeyes for so long, bro.
It wasn't that good.
I had Popeyes. What you just
that
say?
Biscuit?
Oh, if you just talk about the biscuit, that's fine. We all know those biscuits are trash. All right.
Yeah.
We all know this. The biscuits are terrible. You don't go to Popeyes for the biscuits. If you tell me you go to Popeyes for the biscuits, we're not friends. No, we're not. If you thought we were, no. Just so you know. But anyway, I'm really curious about this entire situation.
Yeah, hell yeah,
there's a lot of questions now.
There is, and it's question to know like what goes on with the where goes on with villains, like where did they go? Like a lot of the prisons were broken and escaped. What goes on with the guards? Did they like quick up putting new cells ready for the new villains to come back? Like were they ready fast enough to set new ones? Or are there prisons that we don't know where they could send people that the audience, that the public don't know?
Maybe. But it's just like, so I would love to see, like, so first of all, the heroes headquarters, like what's the headquarters where the information's coming from, or they're sharing information, who's the one controlling the information, and like keeping track of everything that's happening. Where's the HQ? Where's the Hall of Justice now? Is it UA? Is it one of the other schools, or they set up somewhere else? That's not as obvious. You know what I'm saying? At least I would hope so. So I want to know that, and then I also want to know where are these support heroes from around the world? Are they here yet? Or are they almost there? Like, are they still coming, or did they get scared and decide not to show up? You know what I'm saying? And then I want to know how are the other kids just sitting on their hands, other than the fact that they know that some of them have to stay at the school to protect the school as a last line of defense. What other heroes are at the school chilling? You know what I'm saying? Pedro asks, would you like to see a chapter to see the students are down and doubting about being a hero? Yes. I'd love to see a lot of these kids question what it means to be a hero and if they actually want to be heroes.
That's important because it shows their human side. It shows that what's their ambition, what's their goals, what's their goals in life now. Like, are they like the pro heroes that are switching, like maybe Minute doesn't want to be a hero no more because he's scared because all he thought was about being a kid and he just wanted boobs and just to see sneak
Or maybe
peeks.
he becomes a hero now. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
So it'd be interesting to see this type of dynamic, like what type of other heroes, like will Red Right and the other guy from Class 1B, the guy that has almost a similar quirk. Yeah, that's a Tetsu. Will other classmates becoming like dual heroes? Will they be, joining forces?
Yeah,
because
do they form like little teams? Yeah,
like form little teams. So like that'd be something beautiful as well. And I want to see Ray's son, Lemillion. I want to see what he's doing as well.
I want to see where Muriel is. Like, where is he? What's he doing? Like,
and plus,
you know his goal: save 1 million people, bro. I'm sure he got plenty of people to save right now, so he out there doing the work too. So I would love to see that.
And I would love to see that if he's working with his team, like Sun Eater and I forget the girl name. Hado. Thank you. So I would love to see if those three are working together because those were the trio. So like I want to see if they're working as a team.
I hope that they are working together because that'd be great. And I'm a Jiki. I love that dude. So I hope him and Lemillion are out there just doing the dang thing. You know what I'm saying? I really, 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 really hope so. American heroes are waiting to see how much they get paid before they arrive. LOL. Rip.
That would be interesting as well. But I do want to add a quick thoughts to what Ray said a bit earlier about the support hero. What was the first thing you said about before the support heroes?
Oh, like where are they? Are they here yet? Like are they still coming?
No, before you said that, you said two things. What was the first one?
You think I remember what I said 5 minutes ago?
Damn, because I was gonna comment on it, but I totally forgot what it was. I was gonna comment on it.
Think about it. I'm gonna read some of the stuff in chat. So Denzel wants to know how long do you think how long do you think before we're seeing Deku go solo, before the likes of Bakugo or go to retrieve? So Denzel, we talked about that. I don't think they're going to retrieve him. They go to help him. They know that they know that he will need their help. And it's one of those things again where it's like Bakugo's told him this. You can't do this all by yourself, nerd. And so they go to help him because he needs the help. And at this point, but I'm sure it'll be a change in character that he doesn't want it. And that'll be an interesting conversation, I think. Let's see. And Vin goes, I'd imagine America has an excess of heroes. That's just my headcanon, but the culture here, I can't imagine limiting quirk use would work well. I mean, I would love to see how the quirk system is set up over in America from Horikoshi's point of view. I'd love to see that.
That'd be interesting because I'm curious to know, like, how does he see American heroes? Does a lot of American heroes?
I mean, because we got a taste of it with Captain Celebrity, and that was not good.
You know and it was
very much a Hollywood type, literally a Hollywood type.
I also want to see if we have each type of different state heroes as well. Like if there's a state hero representing New York, Texas, California, Washington DC. If there's a version of Captain America, like I want to see if there's a version for each type of hero within the states.
Who do you think wins in a fight, Mirio or Deku? As much as I love my boy Mirio,
it's Deku right now,
as talented as he is, if Deku has a good enough handle on Danger Sense, it's Deku.
Yep.
Straight up.
It's a boy Deku for sure.
Yeah. But if he doesn't, I mean, Mirio's very talented. We know this. He's very experienced. He's very talented. You know.
There's a question about also, do you guys think we'll get a part 2 of the story and this being the end of the first saga? We had this discussion, I think, on the podcast and last week
We
as
did.
well, but we get to repeat our answers real quick. It could either go either or side. We're not horror, we don't write the story. Like we have said it perfectly on the podcast and our manga reviews / discussions all the time. If the author feels like this is their story and they want to tell
and this is
only
the end,
this is the end, go for it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want them to write just to write, like what has happened in Bleach or other set series where they cannot tell, or what's gonna happen in Phantom Series that if you just about to get axed. So stuff like that. If you feel like you can write another saga for it, cool. But if you want to continue Deku's story and go to another character, go to South America, go to Australia, just like Vigilantes, My Hero could have other spin-offs. So if you feel like this is the end of the saga for Deku itself story, because we said it and we learned it in the beginning of the story that this is how he becomes the greatest hero, then cool, this story of his ends. We could have My Hero America, we could have My Hero South America, we could have other spin-offs, right?
Yeah.
What do you think to add?
But my preference of this, we get the Shippuden route. Not gonna lie. Like he's told this part of the story, he takes a break and he comes back and gives us the next part of the story.
Yeah.
Depending on what he has to do, because I feel like there's so much potential for this world that he's built. So even if this part of the story is over, I mean that's kind of how it works sometimes. Like they write through the main story that they want to do, they drop it for a while, they take it back, they do something else, and then maybe he comes back and tells the rest of the story that he comes up with. That happens sometimes. We've already seen it happen with Hori, where he's like, "Oh, my original ending was that second movie." You know what I'm saying? And so he decided to do something else. I'm okay with that. Like, I hope that he continues in some way, shape, or form. Absolutely, because I feel like there's a lot to be said and told with this story. Even though I'm also fine with him just wrapping it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm also okay with this. Like, I'm okay with him saying, "All right, My Hero Academia is done. Finito." I'm okay with that because I've had a great time with it all the way through, like straight up, start to finish. I've had a good time. So, let's see, a series of My Hero one-shots like Death Note does. I don't know. Hey, Aniki's in the building. What's up, BB? How you doing? Welcome on in. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. What do you think the end of chapter of My Hero will be? Rough estimate? Oof.
That's a big question. That's
a huge question.
We could probably do a one shot of that, of discussions. If My Hero's on break a week, we could do that because that's a big question for us to talk about.
That's a huge question.
What is me and Ray?
Even just a rough. If I was just to give you a rough guess, what I'd like to see, me being selfish, about 800. That's me being selfish, but I could absolutely see like 600 being.
I could see 500, like 500.
I could be 600 being it. Like
I can see between 500 to 600, like around there. Like it depends how far he wants to tell. Like if he wants to do a time skip as well. If he
but
wants
I feel
to
like
the
6 is
a
solid number. 600 is a solid number for this story. I think that's plenty. Need him to move to Jump Plus. None of that weekly Shonen Jump nonsense. I can see that. I'm okay with that.
I just hope Shueisha just learns, like, not everything needs to come out week to week. Some chapters can be out every 2 weeks. Like, not everything needs to be week to week. Like, give the authors a break. Like, sometimes with comics, they don't come out every single week. There's some comics that come every 2 weeks, once a month, every 3 weeks. It's just, it gives the authors breaks. It gives them better way to tell the story.
I would hope that they learn that that's okay. Let those gag writers figure Shonen Jump and then put all these heavy hitters in Shonen Jump Plus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like that's what they're trying to do anyway. So yeah, let the gags stay in Shonen Jump, sell their weekly stuff, blah blah blah, but then put the good shit in Shonen Jump Plus. That's more adult like anyway. You know?
I did see a question.
An easier way to access Shonen Jump Plus. Okay.
Yes, and they need to promote it a lot more too, and they need to have a better way for the app. So people can actually read the app stuff that's on the website. Like, hey, I am 18 and over. I could read these series because that needs better promotion. They need to learn to do that. But I saw a comment that we didn't get to answer. Vin asks, can our Miro phase through Black Whip?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
See Mirio try and phase through like energy?
I don't know either. Like, I know that he phases through the walls and through people, But I don't know if he has phased through.
Yeah, have we seen Mirio phase through like energy attacks, y'all? Because I don't recall.
I don't recall.
Y'all know I remember everything. I don't remember. Interesting. Yes, you're right. It is being hurt by not being on the app. I have to save it as a freaking shortcut on my phone's homepage to get to that. And I'm like, come on, bro. Yeah, it's absolutely hurting those series.
You see,
I'm worried about Chainsaw Man going forward. To be honest,
Vin even just said the fuck is Jump Plus. He didn't. He didn't even know about Jump Plus. Even know.
Yeah.
I told one of my coworkers from production that you could read My Hero and other series most recent 3 chapters for free, and he did not know this. And this has been out for almost 2 years. They'll be in December.
But that's why they have us to spread the gospel. That is the Shonen Jump app. $1.99 a month. You can read all of this stuff and be paying for it instead of reading scans that are ass cheeks, by the way. Read the officials, please. I know you got to wait. I know some of y'all don't like to wait because you haven't been waiting, but support this stuff so we get more of it, is what I'm saying. Pretty please. I'm sure they have the numbers from folks that like are reading on the app here versus over in Japan, and that's why I don't think we matter when it comes to our opinion. You know what I'm saying?
But thing is Viz needs to know how to promote it better. Like all you do is just tweets about the chapters, but they need to promote that. Hey, don't forget, like $1.99 here in the US.
Oh, see, Aniki goes. He literally did it against Aoyama. That makes sense. Yeah. So that was the one time. Yeah, you're right. He like when he phased through Aoyama's laser. When they did he was like, hey, I want all y'all to fight me at once. And they were like, word? And he was like, yeah, and he beat all their ass. I remember. I love that episode, by the way. Still one of my favorite episodes. Where Miguel was like, well, fight me then.
Fight me. And they said, power! Like, that was amazing.
I love that episode. It was so good.
If I'm correct, you didn't react to those episodes, right?
I did. They're out there.
Oh, yeah, that's out there.
Hey, my boy.
Aniki! What's up, man?
What's up? All right, chat. The pastor's here. All right.
The pastor from the church is here. What's up, Aniki? How you doing?
Can we hear him? I can't hear him yet.
We don't hear him. He is still connecting to audio. He's still connecting to audio.
We got it. There we
Okay, all right, we hear you. Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah,
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yo, see, and it was funny as I was about to like record my chapter review, and I was like, you know what? Let me hop into this conversation.
I appreciate you for wanting to hop in, my guy. So, Aniki, before we get started, tell the people who you are if they don't know who you are.
I'm Aniki Smash FSP, Cardinal of the Church of MHA. If you want the actual best My Hero analysis, I promise I got it for you. If you go watch my latest video,
this is the man.
Quirks being a disease. I give you a fundamental breakdown using information from World War II, modern genetic science, and the manga to explain to you how quirks are a disease, the way they perpetuate it through society. And if you look at the latest movie trailer, when they show people worship, like gathering around the statue of the worship, the baby glowing, I talk about that in that video before the trailer came out. I straight up said in the video,
that's wild,
that it's going to be a religious figure, because the reason why is that people are going to take these pilgrimages to the glowing baby. They're going to be all here like, oh snap, it's a glowing baby. I need scientists.
It's a glowing baby.
So they come in there, meet the baby, get covered in this bacteria, go doing all this other stuff, end up spreading it all over the world. Boom. Within 250 years, you got quirks all over the place. Also, keep in mind that Horikoshi uses the term bioluminescent baby, not glowing. And the reason he uses the phrase bioluminescence is because we've done a lot of studies specifically on making bacteria glow, like certain enzymes, and then taking those enzymes and like stimulating the proteins of tobacco plants. Even going further though, like they've now transferred mushroom cells into mushroom DNA into different plants, which allow them to glow, and even going so far as taking certain proteins from jellyfish and transplanting those into different animals so that they can have glow in the dark monkeys, dogs, etc. So that's
doing some wild stuff that we shouldn't be messing with, but you're right.
So
please go follow Aniki. Like I love Aniki's content. Like y'all know, I love to read about people's stuff who I love. This man has the passion. He has the knowledge. He puts in the work and the time. And I love to see it every single time. So go follow our boy.
We support him. We have him on the main chat, in the main channel. Right there's the link. So if you want, go to there, or I'll put it down below in the description later. So definitely we support Aniki. Like he's a brother to us with the My Hero discussion. We just don't join the streams because he streams literally 12 them down when the chapters are out. EST. But we stream right after when he's about to end.
We're like, oh yeah, the Aniki's in church lit, and then we were like, oh, we should go stream, and we go stream. So yes, lit.
Yeah. so like we usually stream when he's about to finish because they be going on something for like 5-6 hours. Like, yo, you are like.
That's why they call it church, bro.
We calmed it down a little bit lately. Now we only hitting them 3-hour marks.
I've noticed that. Like, oh, they're done. Okay, since they're done, guys, let's go live now because you know people could come to us now. Like, oh, they're done. Cool.
God.
Cause yo,
church over. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the longest you went, I think was
we could be the brunch My Hero gang. You know what I'm saying? After church, everybody go to brunch, right? So this works.
That's perfect.
I think the longest we've had for like a chapter reaction church service was 6 hours.
Yeah, I know.
We definitely we hit 6 a couple weeks. And
yeah, so we had service. Pastor was like, and he said, and I said like 6 times, and then your mama talked after church for 2 more hours. Yep, that's what that one was.
Look, before I did that Quirks is a Disease video, we had like a little after church session with some people, and I was like, look, I'm gonna break this down for you real quick, because the other thing about that bacteria that I mentioned is that one of the first bacteria that they did that with was the E. coli bacteria. Now, do y'all remember Ujiko's original real name?
Yes, I do.
That's Shiga Murata. The Shiga bacteria is the E. coli.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Huh.
See, there was that tweet I said that I was researching Horikoshi's research.
Why you do this to my brain? Oh no!
And now I'm telling you, see, now I'm saying it. It's like, no, I got his research, my guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're gonna have another conversation. Horikoshi got some nasty stuff waiting for us then. Oh no.
Because the doctor that he's a reference to is the one from that World War II. Like, you remember all that big controversy.
Yep.
Yeah, that we know. Yeah. So that we know.
Yeah. That was real. Like, I actually posted like one of the nicest pictures that I could post as an example.
Yeah, the nicest picture from that time.
Arms and legs looking like they had elephantitis and like they're all like just heavily bloated. Yeah. And like the thing about that though is like it's not elephantitis, it's just straight up the aftermath of frostbite. So like, you know, they was putting people up in here having them, you know, like frozen solid basically. And then they was like, we're gonna thaw these out while they attach to your body.
Oof.
Like people in that compound, the average life expectancy once you got sent in there, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yikes! And that is
like
torturous.
Yeah, I mean, like that's where that kind of stuff comes from. Here's one of the crazy things is that part of the reason why this is, you know, not that well known is because when the U.S. popped over, right? When that All Might showed up after we won that World War II, when, you know, we took out the bad guy, we showed up and we decided we wanted his research, and so all that got buried. So like, you know, All Might didn't directly try to hide the doctor, but because he wasn't explaining any of this stuff going on in the background, trying to maintain that peace, ended up allowing that stuff to go to the wayside and allowed him to stay undercover longer.
Woo-wee. Damn.
So that's why I'm curious to know what is Horror gonna bring up with the next couple arcs, because like the chat asked us and I'm asking you, do you think this is the last arc or like the last saga of My Hero, or do you think there'll be a part 2 as well?
So my thing is that if this is the last arc, this is going to be the last arc in the way like the 1,000-Year Blood War and Bleach is the last arc.
Right.
Yeah, it's the last arc, but it's going to be like 200 chapters. Because there's too many things that Horikoshi has set up on the table that unless, like, I do remember Yonko Productions a while back being like, My Hero's going to get like 10 movies. So from that perspective, if Horikoshi wants to, like, and like he could have been capping, but like at the same time when he says a lot of these big things, you know, we end up finding out like, the studios are really good. So like it could be that Horikoshi decided, oh, you know what? I can wrap my manga up in the next like couple years and then do like 3 or 4 movies that really finish out these other plots, and I'll be good like that. And that's the thing on the table now. Yeah.
And I like I said, I'm okay with that. Like I truly am. It's like, I feel like he's kind of like, I'm taking it easy, but I feel like he absolutely could, like, he could wrap it up now, and I'd be like, all right, that makes sense.
Because
I get it.
Especially with we had, you know, he said he wanted to do some of the stuff with Shoji, and I think that's going to come into play too, even because now that we're forcing people into these shelters, discrimination talks get to pop up more. Like, you know, it's what it's like. Oh, well, that one's probably a villain. Like, you could just like all it takes is one little offhand comment like that, and you know we got pieces to to really start diving into mutant-based discrimination.
And
when we got the CRC in the story, we know, the My Hero KKK was out here.
Yep.
So,
man, it is like Hori, like, and that's why I'm glad you brought up Jump Plus, because there are some themes that Horikoshi could get into
in Jump Plus for sure.
In Jump Plus that would like legitimately be like, hey yo, like. Honestly, I would love to see it. I would love for him to dive into, because it seems like he has it all there. It's just like what they're going to allow him to do in Shonen Jump. And,
right.
I'm like, come on, like just give him the space to tell his story. Like just give it to him.
Because the thing that you really got to realize is that some of the political views that you can ultimately take from My Hero Academia are very they're very anti-nationalist. Especially when you have All For One effectively being like the traditional Japanese like leader, like he's the symbol of that. So like if he's the previous era or whatever, then the idea that we're going to go back to this era, and there's been a rising in a specific political party known as the Japan First Party, which is about going back to that tradition, and like that very similar to what Trump was pushing. So like you have
that's why they like, and this is going to be slightly controversial. That's why they like Demon Slayer so much. It is very traditional, very traditional story.
So this whole like confirming like with these mirrored political views, like we're going to have to see some of these more like why the CRC even still kind of exists in the same way that like why the KKK is, because there's still people adjacent to their beliefs that may not necessarily completely co-sign them, but they're not going out of the way to condemn them. And those people are going to start making more moves. It's unlikely that Shigaraki and them killed the very last bastion of the CRC. The third movie's trailer is, if anything, implicative that it's the exact opposite.
Right. They're still there. They're there. Absolutely. And I feel like that's what I really wanted to get more into, because I have this, and this has been like something I've been cooking on for a while. I'm like, All For One is the big bad evil that we see. In every story, there is a big bad evil that exists because evil permeates everywhere.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? All For One is the one who wanted to be public and showy about it. But there are so many other shadowy organizations that exist and are kind of like, they don't do anything actively against those folks, but they definitely do shit to like throw fuel on the fire to make it worse. Absolutely. And I'm wondering if that's kind of gonna rear its head towards the end of this, to be completely honest with you.
So I think to a certain degree, you kind of have to have something like that, mostly because we already know Horikoshi is like a big comics fan anyway. And like we talked about on the church, the Court of Owls is one of the best concepts.
Hands down, is my favorite Batman thing, straight up.
I still haven't read it. I really need to. Still haven't read it.
Yes, Court of Owls is so good.
Yeah. So, we got these, and like even to a certain degree, the fact that All For One's like this rich businessman that's in the shadows kind of plays into that theme already, because you got the undead Nomu similar to the Talons, and then you got, rich All For One behind the scenes. We know he had other partners back in the day. So like we gotta see these other rich people, because it's not like it's just gonna be All For One. Like when Wolfram managed to make connections with All For One in the first movie, it would seem like, being able to connect to All For One is a viable thing if you know the right people. Right. So, and if you got a respectable enough amount of clout, it would make sense that you'd be able to access them. Like, I don't see any reason why even the honorable old man who ran the Yakuza, I wouldn't be surprised if he were capable, if he really wanted to, of talking to All For One.
Oh, absolutely. I bet they were. And it's just they had their code of honor that kept them from doing that. And that's why they didn't. But overall was like, no, bro, hold up. But man, and I do want to see if overhaul really does have any other significance in this at this point.
I hope he does.
If he has a I was right moment, you know what I'm saying? Like I really want to know.
So we were talking about how Deku Sinister 6 is shaping up, because I know I think you saw my tweet on Tuesday, like, Deku has to get those rematches for it to be a rogues gallery.
Right.
And then this week we came in with the chapter with so it's like
I was right about it.
Yeah, Vash had been saying this too, and I'm like, okay, sure. But I was like,
Do you
that's
think?
fine.
Question,
Wackest
Aniki.
one.
Do you think he's gonna get one shot it? Because that's
No.
what Ray believes, or do you think he's gonna get like a 3-hit combo?
I
think
want him to
he's
get
gonna have to
bodied
get combo
immediately.
Thank you.
I think the emphasis is going to be on Deku's technical aspects because we just saw him drop kick him out of nowhere. Also,
did he even touch him though? I thought that was just like the air smash.
So Deku has the plume fruit from One Piece. I'm pretty
Okay, which I do know what that is. Don't judge me. All right.
No, that's cool.
No, so that was for Vash because he's like, you haven't even caught up. I know what the fruits are, right? Relax.
Right. So like I'm pretty because one of the things that we talked about too is that Deku's one of the first drawings, like the pieces of art of Horikoshi's that's ever been published, was a drawing of Smoker in a volume of One Piece.
Oh.
Yeah, back when he was like 15 or something like that, Oda was like, "Oh, cool." And there's a Smoker drawing. So if you have like this Deku and the 6th user's name also meant smoke, we were like, and he's probably not getting fire. So if you have the 6th user's name is Smoke, we know that Horikoshi did have that drawing of Smoker. And then if you look back, if you go back to these back 4 pages real quick, pull up the chapter for me, bro. I'm gonna show you something real quick.
Shit.
Pull up these chapters for me real quick.
So what chapter?
Pull up the chapter and just look at the last 2 pages, okay? Like when you pull up you look at, so you get to page 16, right?
Oh shit! I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you look and see where the smash is.
Yeah,
and there's no actual body where the smash is. And so he's like flying away, and then you see the as the smoke like builds around, like as a circle, like a cyclone. You see the rabbit ears, and then
I was questioning that whole time. I'm like,
off his legs and off his face.
I was wondering, like, what is that smoke supposed to mean? Like, is it just because the wind pressure he did? So that's why I assume it's like the wind pressure and everything. Like, he just looked good and he drew that. But if it's smoke, because I did actually get like maybe it's gonna get some fire and ice quirk. I think off screen or on the stream before like, a couple weeks back. But if he's not getting fire is also a different type of degree of smoke. So that could be possible. Holy shit, that'll be fly.
I would actually love that. I'm not gonna lie.
That'll be fly.
That makes Deku. That gives him.
And that will make sense for the 2nd user's outfit.
Village hidden in the mist bullshit, and I love it. It's gonna be great.
Well, because the other thing too is that it doesn't actually, because none of Deku's quirks break him. That's like the big thing you have to notice here is that like Black Whip, it just gave him the ability to like grab people and swing or whatever.
Right.
Danger Sense, it just helps him be like a more evasive. And the thing is that all these quirks to a certain degree, like Black Whip is the only one that really does a lot. Float doesn't do that much for Deku when you think about the fact that after a certain point, he can just kind of run on the air like he did for his overhaul anyway. So it's like Float was just accenting and making easier one of the things that he can already do. Yeah. And this smoke quirk is the first one that really like does anything, but it still doesn't give him a bunch of damage.
Right.
So he's turning into smoke like Smoker. He's just getting extra mobility and evasiveness.
So do you think he has to like the actual quirk like Smoker? Like, do you think he has to like turn it into smoke and become smoke and
looking at that panel, it.
I'm thinking he's converting.
I'm fairly convinced. It's like he's coming out of a smoke form. Is what that looks like.
So I think he can become smoke.
Yeah, because I don't think that's dust and wind like usually like we see in comics and manga. Like that's dust and wind like we've seen in anime as well.
Because what would create that much? Yeah, what would create that much dust? Essentially, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he just moved. Like ain't gonna create that much dust.
And plus the smoke is literally coming off his leg and
I mean,
also
if you think about
his hood.
In traditional like manga shonen, like when somebody's moving quickly, there's very little smoke to indicate that. That's how fast they're moving. Exactly. So damn, that's good.
Yeah, like
this would be interesting. Holy damn!
Like I said, like the page 16 where you see the kanji and the and you see it's got that spiral to it. Yeah. It's not just like a puffy cloud from like an impact.
Smoker does that. And Smoker, I read the manga for Smoker in the beginning because I want to reread the whole Alabasta arc, and when he has done that, it has the same kanji, fush. Holy shit, I could see that. This would be dope. we have said on
But-
stream that it will be a fire and ice quirk. It will be interesting because it will be homage to Shoto. But if it's fire like smoke, that'll be freaking amazing.
That'd be dope. I love it. So this is what I'm gonna say. I do now want to see a fight between Deku and Muscular because Muscular is so fucking cocky. He's so cocky that he's gonna be like,
That's
"Oh,
why.
I remember you," and he
Said, "I know that voice."
Like I love the change in his face from 16 to when he hears his voice. The change in his face is drastic in a way that he is incredibly like bloodthirsty and excited. Like I want it real bad. Like I want to see him just get destroyed by Deku because he's like, oh yeah, I remember this kid who barely beat me. Yes. Oh man, I need it.
And that's the other thing is that like I don't necessarily want Deku to just like bow one shot him because I don't need Deku to have become that much stronger. And based on the kick, he can still hit him and like do significant damage anyway.
I feel like Deku's gonna be a Spider-Man type where he's always gonna pull his punches anyway, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he has done that. It's just like it's just like in the Spider-Man comics when our boy Dr. Octavius got into his mind and used his body, and when he even told the villains and everybody that Peter always pulled his punches, and when he actually used his full strength, it was a whole different level.
Yeah,
he knocked somebody's jaw.
Yeah, basically knocked Rhino's jaw. Like straight up.
He did do it.
Yeah,
he did do it. So I was like, that is one of my favorite comics to note that Peter was always pulling his punches. So
that's why they did that. That's why they did Superior Spider-Man, because they were like, how can we show how strong Spider-Man is without it being Peter, because Peter would never do it. Oh yeah, make it not Peter. So
I could definitely see this with Deku, like he will be pulling his punches there because like he's the type of person that wants to save people, like just like he told to the for once and everything before.
And that's the thing, Deku wants to save everybody.
So the other thing for me is that with like if he's got the smoker quirk and it's like really going to be working like that, then he's also got like the extra thrust now where he's going to have to think about like white blow, like he's got extra force, like holding back these blows is going to be like necessary. But it also means that like we could get some interest in like him splitting apart and then like kicking people like from behind stuff.
I mean,
we got a lot of like potential.
There's a lot of stuff he could do with that, and it also kind of makes him sort of intangible. Sort of.
Right. Because he has to learn from other students and his friends. And if he's going to be practicing with his smoke quirk and he's going to really reach his peak, he's got to like take those lessons from Mirio.
He's got to learn from Mirio.
The danger sense is like, being able to like predict your opponent's movements. That's stuff that he got from Mirio, Night Eye. It's something that he can learn studying under Mirko. It's something he can learn with Hawks because they both have those danger sense type abilities tied into their quirks. So like a lot of the quirks that he's going to be getting, we got to see them as things that he can potentially learn how to apply from like people in the top 10.
And the other people he's like talked to and like observed already. Yes.
That is true because we did say that he will be learning his quirks from his classmates, but we never went expanded that he can learn from his other mentors and peers. That would be awesome to see.
I need a Mirio.
I love this.
Like,
I need another Deku Mirio team up. I need it.
Like imagine like Deku like stomps his foot down and you got like smoke flying everywhere.
Yes.
And it's like the equivalent of like the flash fire, but it's like a kick. So he's got like long range like
it's like a flash smoke.
Yeah, like so it's like the same way you build that up, get it charged up and fired into people. There's a lot of potential with
so good, and that's why he doesn't need the Air Force gloves anymore.
Like now he's got the smoke range, so like he doesn't need to like shoot those.
So he doesn't need to shoot. He doesn't need to shoot Air Force no more. He doesn't need to. Yes.
Oh, that's exactly why for the Smash panel it looked like it was just him in a smoke and everything because he didn't need the Air Force. It was more of his punch itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That'll be fucking fly.
Like it's a smoke charge blow, like bow. Like when you see specifically if you go watch like Law versus Smoker.
I read One Piece. How did I not notice this? Oh my god, I'm so mad at myself.
Yeah, fake fan. Oh my god.
The way that he uses the jet push to like stretch his arms out and stuff. So yeah, he's basically.
I love this, and I really now I want it. I want this.
Damn, Aniki, I'm so mad at myself. I read One Piece and I watch it over the years. How did I not notice this? Wow.
Oh,
that's a great reference for that. That's a great reference, Aniki.
And it makes sense.
That's beautiful. Like this is probably to be 100% true.
And if you think about it, the way that they describe all the quirks within the quirk is that they weren't all particularly strong, but over time, that one could have become that and been sick as hell. Yeah.
Because like if you're just turning into a smoke form, you're not necessarily putting out this crazy amount of damage.
Right.
But like the smoke form combined with one for all, you know, that's something to work with.
That's dope. Exactly.
Like, you know, and then you got it by the time, you know, you get to this level now, you flying. And the other thing is the smoke form might have been even more limited where he wasn't able to do as much cool stuff as like Deku's doing here because he didn't have the float or he didn't have like the extra energy boost to do all that.
And I mean, and we had talked about how like in that confrontation with, you know, All For One or Shigaraki at the point, decay being a real big issue, this does help with that significantly. Because it'd be boring if he just used Danger Sense and not get touched.
Because
this makes way more sense.
Before our prediction was that he needs some type of defense quirk because he needs to like kind of harden like our boy Red Riot, but if he has something that's Muriel like smoke type, this would be a great defense for that, and that would be beautiful for that. That's actually a great theory for this, and this would be a good move, a quirk against that quirk of decay.
It also lets Deku fight more like Katakuri because like instead of him
because of Mochi.
Yeah, because
I see that shit. Yes,
like open his chest up. So it's like you stab me, but I just opened my chest. What's good?
It's so like smoke and Katakuri.
Get those like types of moves out of him, like danger sensing, just like smoke shifting his body out of the way.
And then think about how he could apply that to like save people. Oh my god!
Like, Ray, go watch One Piece. Go read One Piece.
I've been reading One Piece this weekend. All right, leave me alone.
Because I was thinking about that fight between Law and Smoker and how there's a part where Law is like making rocks pop up out of the ground and shit. And Smoker is just dodging them by like turning into smoke and taking steps forward. So it's like he goes to get impaled. Nope, smoke form. And like you could have stuff like that. So that's kind of what I want to see from Deku is just like these big smashes.
Right.
From like muscular as he's like trying to hit him, and Deku's just kind of like
and
smoke stepping through him. Like, and then just bow, kick him again, you know, really looks like start putting the hurt on him.
So Aniki, I'm telling you right now, if this is the case with this, I want that fight real bad because it's just him annoying the shit out of Muscular until he just like destroys him. I want that real bad. I want he can give him the order for real now. Oh!
Order. So Aniki, I'm curious now. Do you have a theory for the third user? Since you said about the fire quirk, it could be small quirk. What's your theory for the other user that we don't know?
The second and third user, they've kept so much information. There's there's a lot of room for either those quirks being really strong or them not being that powerful. Because I think that the draw for Deku was going to be that he's not going to be able, for example, like people are like, wait, wouldn't the smoke form be a little too powerful? And I'm like, I think he wouldn't be able to actually hit you until like he manifests that body part. So like dumb people like muscular are going to have big issues with that. But I think necessarily like perceptive people are going to be able to like keep up with that. Or it might even be that like you can still like mess with his body and he can't like handle being separated. So there's probably going to be some limits that we just haven't seen yet. But I don't think it's going to be something as simple as he just gets to make smoke only because he wouldn't use that in this particular situation. And I think we got to address whatever the swishing and the swirling around him. I mean, it could be that like he uses smoke the same way that Loud Cloud used his cloud quirk and he was just like riding it into battle.
Yeah, which
I would have a problem with that either.
A Nimbus.
But like, there's something about the idea of like the smoke quirk just being like a thing that he uses for evasion and like maybe a couple like moving in and like blitz people. But he can't really do a lot of real damage if he stays smoke is probably going to be the balancing out.
I mean, it also like just imagine him like enveloping a person and he can hit them from any direction and they don't know where he's coming from.
That's how Smoker has fought before, Ray. In La Basta and everything.
Yep, I'm gonna read it. Don't worry. Yeah, I want this real bad. Why you do this to me, man?
Damn, this is interesting. Like this is way better than I said to the guys before. Because I'm like, wait, it'd be interesting for a fire or ice quirk.
More interesting.
Yeah, because my theory was like, oh, so some type of fire ice quirk to play on Marshall Shoto since he has quirks similar to his classmates and everything. This would be pretty dope. But this was way better. Smoke quirk. Oh, so much better than I thought. Like this would be homage to One Piece and everything. Oh, that'd be so amazing. Smoke quirk. I love it. Yeah. I want it.
And like I said, so people were like, oh, well, he's OP now. And I still personally think there is a limit to how many of these quirks he can use at the same time, like physically. I think that he can't use them all at the same time. So he has to choose which ones he's using at the same time. And there's probably some that he can't use at the same time together just because maybe their affinities aren't, good. So I don't know.
Yeah, he might not be able to use Black Whip while in smoke form.
Exactly.
Which that's like the most dangerous combo that you could make with that. Like just him turning into a cloud of smoke surrounding you, and you're just whoop.
Black Whip at the same time. Oh, that's OP. But at the same time, people.
It's a wrap.
People cannot say this OP now because people also need to think who's his main antagonist. Is All for One, I've
been telling people for the longest time who preceded him? All Might, literally the dude who solved crime in Japan.
And at the time he was using one of the quirks only,
exactly.
and he did not win against All for One.
Like,
so to know,
All Might was also OP as hell. When things got serious, who they call? All Might.
Because the other thing is that I feel like people mentioned being in like there's nothing that Shigaraki, like to a certain degree, the Shigaraki is becoming like the unstoppable force, and Deku's becoming the immovable object, not in the sense that he just like tanks it, but you just can't go through him that way. Exactly. It's not like
that's
that.
how he saves.
Like there's a certain level of like flexibility that, and in addition to that, because he's got these like low discount quirks, it's going to be
low discount.
It's like let's be real, like blacks, like even with us like factoring this in right now with no one for Raw, float's not that great.
No, it's not.
No,
nope.
Black Whip is pretty solid, but it's not that great.
And plus, float cannot do much of quirk evolution since it was literally two predecessors ago.
I mean, unless you can fly faster, which is what the case is, and like float is more like a propulsion. You can float, but now you can fly.
Black Whip evolved a lot because that's 3 or 4 predecessors before Deku, so that makes sense.
That's also part of just like range, other stuff.
Yeah.
Danger
Sense, it seems almost entirely involuntary.
Yeah, like Danger Sense just works. Like, unfortunately,
so you gotta, and like that one, even then, like close range, sure, but it's not anything special. So I have a hard time believing that the second or third user had really high tier quirks either, which is what makes it hard to guess what their quirks are going to be, because you have to think of something that can be useful.
I love that,
but
so
it
much.
Can't be something that's so crazy that you're like, yeah, well, because like if you look at full cowling by itself and you combine that with the smoke form, it's just like, no, he's got like super strength with like a little extra like juke ability because of intangibility, stuff like that, but he still gonna have to solidify to deal damage. So it's like, that's not that crazy. Right. Then you look at like just Black Whip with like full cowling, it wasn't that crazy. Nope. Look with full cowling, not that crazy.
I just love how creative.
Black Whip together.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly is what you're saying. I just love how creative these authors are, because when you really think about it on paper, when it comes to One Piece, Devil Fruits, when it comes to My Hero quirks and everything, like these type of on paper it seems like so dumb and stupid, like you said, Black Whip, flow. But when you use it in combat and actually have a protagonist that could use it very smart and very strategic, it can actually come out very useful, like Smoke quirk. And it's like Bellamy, the bouncy quirk and everything like that. Like it like Spring Fruit. Like at first on paper, it's stupid as hell, but he uses it very smart by bouncing in every place. Katakuri, Mochi Fruit. But like you said about Smoker Fruit with Deku, he could actually use it very smart in combat. Like it just makes me more want to praise these type of creators that they use it in a very smart way. Yes.
Yeah, but like somebody who just said that. So Vin just said it in chat. Up until All Might, they was all mid AF, and they were like for real. Like straight up, he's the one who took that quirk and basically made it something. Because they all had quirks that they kind of used. You know what I'm saying? I love this. Like, I love this so much. God dang. Yeah, I want that so bad.
The other thing is like it keeps the second and third users quirks hidden. So the other thing that we got to consider too is that the 6th user might have been like, yeah, Deku, I'm out here supporting you. Here you go, young blood. Smoke, pull up on it. Get it. And like, yeah, we out here lifting them up. We gonna have them floating. Got the Black Whip and the Danger Sense. We riding. And the other two might have just still been like, yeah, y'all have fun with that.
Yeah.
Yep. Y'all have fun with that.
It's like, y'all don't need us. He don't need our powers. Nope.
I really just know what is their power in there. Like to know what could it be. I wish we got a hand or some type of reference for us to at least have an idea.
I mean, the only way that I can even kind of try to conceptualize it is like when he figured out what he needed to do to protect the power, would he have gone after somebody as powerful as he could find, or would he have gone after just anybody who even like remotely he trusted at that point? So it wouldn't have been somebody who was actively fighting his brother, because they would have been in immediate danger regardless.
Right.
So it had to be somebody that he would low-key be like, okay, he won't be after you immediately because he's not interested in your quirk.
Yeah.
Is what I'm assuming. So that's kind of the mindset I'm trying to like train down to see like what could they be essentially. And it seems like they knew each other. So
and
maybe
also, because like one of the things we were talking about is the fact that like the second and third user are from just an inherently more dangerous time period.
Exactly.
Might also have led to them being far more hesitant at giving Deku their quirk, because they're like, you didn't just straight up say, yeah, I'll murk Shigaraki, and I don't like that. And
yeah, I think that's dead ass what it is though. Because I'm pretty sure they're probably like still like, no, he's got to die for this to stop.
Yeah, they're like, no, kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill him. What are you talking about?
And I can't wait for Deku to be like, All Might tried that and it didn't work. I can't wait for him to say that.
I mean, he successfully peeled All For One's muffin cap back blue. Like I said in reviews and on stream, he punched off All For One's lining.
Yep, the whole
when
thing.
You get your lining punched off,
the whole thing.
You got to reevaluate how you move.
That just happened to somebody else in another anime that we're watching that we're not going to spoil because that was hilarious.
Oh.
Except he got shaved. He didn't get punched. He got shaved real good. Oh man. But no, I think I think we can wrap up with this because that's on that smoke quirk. Like I can't, bro, I can't go nowhere else other than that. That's amazing. And I really, really, really want that.
I really do fuck with this series.
I gotta go pull up. I gotta go find that picture just because I want to talk about it in my review still, even though I like talked about it on both streams. Just because I want to pull up the art piece, just because like it's an old piece, but like the fact that that's one of the first things he did, and a lot of My Hero has been every part of Hori's career.
Yep. Like
the Lion and Gang Orca from Omagaki or whatever the name Zoo manga was. And Eraserhead is very much reminiscent of Tiamat, who was the sensei to Barrage. So like a lot of his older characters, and like Tenko, like Shotomura, is from like the very first one shot that got published when he was like 18, 19, that was named Tenko. So it's like we got all his love in here. So we even getting like, he's like, nah, fuck that. I did a fan art and I'm incorporating that to my series too, because that's important to me and it's a part of how I've made it to where I am today. That's kind of raw to me. Like that love that like everything I am is in this manga.
Horikoshi, I'm telling one of my favorite stories straight up. Goodness gracious. I got nothing but love and respect for that man and his work straight up. Well, Vash, what you think? Let's close it up.
Yeah, we're good here. Aniki, have any last thoughts about the chapter, about your thoughts or anything you want to drop, any gems, anything to plug overall?
I would just say, like, as far as like this chapter, make sure you guys just stay on the ball. If you hear somebody talking about how the villains didn't win, like, just ignore them. Got people talking. I know there's a lot of weird takes going on right now. Just focus on the story. It's all playing out. Society's crumbling. We get to see this is only going to get worse as far as for the situations that people are living in. Because as like I had said this as soon as they announced the shelters, that those are really double-edged swords because they're
now they're targeting. Exactly.
So, and let's be real, the way Muscular landed on this building, if he just lands on like UA, like jumping from one building into UA, he's gonna hurt some people.
Oh yeah.
Same for any of these like lower tier facilities. And I also, one of my bets is that Shiketsu falls.
Yeah, I think so too.
Shiketsu is going down. I think Shiketsu is going to go down, and that's going to be like the real big turning point because we've already got anarchy in the streets. So just like be on that, and then just go ahead, go to my channel, check out My History Academia. I made playlists for both of them. One of them is on the cult on Shinrikyo, the most dangerous cult that like Japan has had, that committed a massive domestic terrorist attack that ties into the League of Villains, down with the way Dabi acts, the way Spinner acts, all of their philosophies. And you want to watch the Quirks Being a Disease video on Overhaul Being Right. I promise you, if you love My Hero content, if you want to be free from the curse that is our terrible theories, our fandom, And there you go. I'm providing for you.
Yep.
Check it out.
Oh man, goodness gracious!
For those that are watching the current stream,
I love people.
I was just gonna say, for those that are currently watching the current
links.
stream, I just dropped the link for Aniki's channel, so definitely check him out. You'll see his channel. Help him get to 2,000 subscribers as well, because he's at 1.5 SC. So definitely help him support, and definitely go check out his stream, because his streams are, they used to be 6 hours from when he told us, but now they're 3 hours or less. So definitely check them out.
But
and if you're gonna watch.
Every hour is full of content. Like I'm not.
Yes.
It's not just talking to talk. Like they're literally talking good shit over there. For real.
Yeah, there's great conversations, good arguments and everything, but there's good debates about it. Overall, it's great content. Definitely check it out, and have your morning coffee with them. Watch them, and then come after us for brunch, like Ray said.
Come have a mimosa with us. Exactly. Yeah, it'll be great. I love it.
Or martini.
So, what I want to say about Aniki and this group again is like, it's not just like random fans just spouting random bullshit. Like they have legitimate thoughts that they compile into like excellent explanations. They have a conversation. It's not just a bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying?
And they don't all agree with each other.
Stuff. And exactly, they don't all agree with each other. They all have their own different theories, and they present them, and they are. They have fun. Y'all they respect each other. They have fun. Outside the occasional random entry, but but they have a good time over there. And I love watching them talk about My Hero Academia. Y'all should too. So absolutely.
And I'm gonna be honest, I was alone. Like a lot of people, are like, oh, Mirio shouldn't have come back, and I was like, guys, I promise with what's about to happen in the story, this is the only time it was gonna make sense. And sure enough, you see everything's gone to the Pooperino. So.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, he's got a plan. Y'all just not patient.
There's a reason. There's a reason for everything, guys. There's a reason for everything. People need to be patient and wait for it. So I definitely can't wait. Ray, anything last thoughts you want to say before we go?
I am now enamored with this smoke quirk. Thanks for that, Aniki. That was something I had not considered at all, and I love it. But no, I'm really excited to see Muscular get that ass waxed. So yes, please. Next.
And guys, thank you for watching this show with us here and with our surprise guest with Aniki. And thank you guys for watching. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Help us continue getting more subscribers and your support. It's greatly appreciated. Like the video, leave a comment, and go leave a comment to Aniki's stream. Go watch and see that we brought you over there for us as well. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one for more podcast episodes and everything else that we hear on the Anime Lily channel. See you guys on the next one.
Peace.
We out.
Smoke a quirk.